Please. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you could please remain standing for a moment of silence for Maureen Friedrich, a former CES teacher. Thank you. Open the Clinton School Committee meeting for Monday, July 15th, 2024. Entertain a motion to approve the bills, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any questions or discussion? All in favor? Perfect. And a motion to review approval of minutes from June 11th, 2024 School Committee meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any questions, discussion? All in favor? Do you have any public comment tonight?
If I may.
Sure.
I just want to take a minute and introduce myself. To those of you that don't know me, my name is Tom Duggan. I'm the newly elected vice president of the CTA. CTA doesn't have anything at this time, but I just wanted to come and make my face known while my president is away.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
So based on that, nothing from the CTA. How about the PTA?
Okay. Well, we weren't taking a break, right? I'll put these all together so you guys have all the things we need. I'm Emily Cabrera, your vice president for 2024-25 school year. None of us are sleeping once again through the summer. So new membership for the new school year opened up on January 1st. And although I don't have a list of all the current members with me, we do have 20 new members in the first 15 days of the new school year. So we're very excited about that. So next meeting, I'll let you know who on the school committee has signed up as a member.
You're gonna bully us again? Is that what's going on?
I'm
All right, just checking.
strictly the facts.
Okay, listen, send me my renewal.
It opened July 1st.
July 1st.
July 1st.
It opened July 1st.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
so
said
it's been-
January. I do
Oh,
that stuff all
January.
the time, yeah.
I haven't stopped moving since like
Should we
7:30.
proactively go on to sign up, or are you gonna invoice us as such? How's that happen? Oh, perfect. Shocker.
How do
Don't
we
worry.
know if we already did it, but we might have forgotten that we did it?
I
Should
can
do it
tell
again.
you, you didn't forget.
I didn't forget.
That's nice.
Wink, wink.
Okay, yay. And you have a special calendar raffle too, right?
We have a calendar raffle that some of you have signed up for. Wink, wink. So that's already happening here. It's for the month of August. It's a $10 donation to enter to win cash every day in the month of August. I know everybody's usually familiar with those for sports.
Sure.
Becky jumped right on it because,
Great.
you know, summer, we had nothing else to do. We have also partnered with the Police Relief Fund for the block dances. So those are back on Thursday nights, starting the 25th. We've had two, but next week we're off for the Historical Society's car show. PTA will have a table. Stop by. You can do your membership there if you'd like. But we will do Thursday nights through August 22nd for the block dances. We have two trivia nights coming up, July 22nd and August 5th at the Simple Man. And we are working on a 2025 school calendar with a lot of the district dates, holidays, and things like that. So there's a
When do you need those from me, do you know? Like yesterday
the
or?
17th, which I think is tomorrow.
It's Wednesday. So if I get them to you tomorrow, that's fine.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. You'd be early.
No, we were doing, we went through a lot of those today at our meeting to make sure that we had like
That's
at
what we
least
were
the
hoping.
evening events, like open houses and that kind of stuff. So I can probably share that doc with you.
Yes.
Might not be the prettiest thing in the world, but it'll get you the right info.
It doesn't have to be. And I'll give you guys each this little itty bitty sample of what the calendar looks like. There's 4 advertising spots on each month. They're $25 a piece. We've sold 11 of them already. So if you've got a side hustle or know a local business who may be interested, let us know. A second outreach or first outreach is always helpful. But it'll have things for the district, school committee meetings, PTA meetings, all that fun stuff will be included on the dates of this calendar. And where we can fit, it's going to be, all the months are multilingual. If you ever designed a calendar, it's very difficult to fit all the things in, especially if you want to try to do it in 3 languages. So we're doing the best we can with that, with Melissa. And what else is going on? I think that's it.
That's all?
So let's play, well,
say
until the
that's
next meeting. I can't. I don't know how we're doing it, but I'll tell you that I don't think any of us have really lost any steam in the grand scheme of things, and our focus has been motivating others to help us do it, and it's working. So we're excited about the new school year. I'm seeing lots of things coming through the pipeline for kickoff day or first day or I don't even know what it's called. But we're excied, and we're getting great feedback from the public that we've done some great things. So
Good.
that's always a good thing.
And when is your next meeting?
When it's confirmed, I think we're waiting on meeting space confirmation at admin.
I don't know, did you
Did
reach
she
out to,
already
I don't know if we've got an email requesting it or not, so.
Did she send that over as part of, we'll take it offline. We will secure meeting space, and we will,
Okay.
because we will be on the calendar, so our meetings will be finalized by the end of August.
But one of the things we had discussed was potentially moving your meetings to
The conference
the
room at
central office
administration building.
conference room, just to make it a little,
To
its
cut out
own
some of the
thing, right?
Other
So, yeah.
scheduling and like competing with basketball or open house nights or things like that that we didn't know of, which is one of the other communication things that the calendar is gonna help us with.
Yep.
And that won't go publicly. We are not sharing anything that you're giving to us in advance. It's just making the printing deadline.
Yep.
For what we need that for, so. Okay, all right, thanks.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Did you want to leave a QR code with me, or?
I will, I'll fold them all together so you can,
Oh,
all
okay.
3
All right.
pages of all the information I have.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
CPAC or LPAC? And anything student-related, Scotty, won't happen until the fall, right? Yeah. Cool. Over to you, Dr. Meyer.
All right, staffing updates. We've been busy just trying to fill all of our positions. You can see in your packet, we've we've been pretty lucky. We got a lot of our positions filled. We had 2 recent resignations. One of those has already been filled. The other one is just recently posted, the CMS special education teacher. I think as of our updates today, we're looking for a middle school. The middle school special education teachers just went up, I think, today. And then the, I think, elementary EL teacher, we're still kind of have a posting for. Most of our other postings, if they're not finalized, we have candidates and we're in the process. So, we seem to be in pretty good shape. So the only one that we really don't have a good lead on right now is the middle school special ed. But that was just a very recent resignation, so we're gonna, we just reposted that, so hopefully we'll get that one done. We're moving right along. All right, not a lot in the packet. A lot of this is just verbal updates. The middle school building project update. The next building committee meeting is tomorrow night. It's a virtual meeting. Every Tuesday at 2 o'clock we have updates. And so last week, that Monday would have been was it the 8th? Yeah, it would have been the 8th. So they came out and they drilled a test well out in the field in the middle school last Monday. The drilling, as far as they reported to us on Tuesday, went as expected. Well, they had an equipment problem, but once they fixed the equipment problem, all of the actual boring itself went fine. They said that they hit, the right like materials and water tables and all that stuff that they expected from the existing documents we had, which was good. And they went down, I think it was 500 feet or 495, something like that. And that's because of that test well is for the geothermal heating. So they had to leave what was in there for a few days, and then they were going to take it out and kind of cover it up. And we had Brian Farragher on the call to see what we wanted to do with any of the dirt or anything that might be disrupted, if we want to just stash it or whatever. And so that should be, I should get an update on that tomorrow, if not at the 2 o'clock meeting. We'll probably have before the meeting. It'll be at the general meeting at 6:30. But that seemed to go well, so we're off and running. They're really trying to start putting together these types of things so these little tests are things that they need to do to try to make sure that they can write like the bids properly, the bid specs properly, because they need to know sort of those conditions in order to do that, right? So that's what they're working on now. A big focus coming up in our probably next, not tomorrow, but the week after, is reviewing the schedule again. They keep trying to really try to get that schedule worked out so that we're timing things up right, so that you get things in place in a time that works, right? So I'm learning a whole lot about that kind of stuff in terms of, is it okay to set your steel in the winter, but then you don't want to do drywall, so because if you do something like that, you're going to have to tent it and heat it, and you don't want to, so just trying to make sure that they're working backwards and getting everything optimized on that schedule, which we've had like ballpark schedules, but now you're trying to get it down to really like, the week, so that you can start getting your documents out there. So it's moving right along. Building committee members, I think you did assign those in the in that other committee list that we have later, so we'll make sure we update those with the MSBA. Next meeting is tomorrow. That's pretty much what I have for the middle school project. Summer updates, just let you know, we had a big meeting today, admin meeting. It was our first meeting together on the new fiscal year with everybody on board. And, we tried to just get some updates, check in, see where we are, make sure we're moving forward, make sure there's no major issues. We have a few other dates coming up soon. We'll be meeting on the 5th and 6th of August and the 15th and 19th of August, just to make sure that we get everything we need all together. Our goal is on the 5th and 6th to make sure we finalize all the things like handbooks and all that kind of stuff, so that on the August 12th school committee meeting, hopefully we can get those approved so that we're ready to distribute those on the first day. Superintendent's Executive Institute, that's down the Cape this week, so tomorrow morning I'm leaving bright and early to head down there. So I'll be at the Mashpee High School for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. A couple of the main topics, that we'll be talking about that are going to impact us is, I know the DESE just came out with a new teacher rubric, evaluation rubric. They just updated that, so that's as of June 2024, so there's going to be some sessions going on that, and we've already got some proposed changes to the evaluation system from the CTA, so we'll be kind of seeing what those I'll be learning a little more about what those changes are, so that we can kind of come back and work with them on that. And the other one is Title IX. There was a lot of changes to the Title IX regulations, so still going to some of those to talk about what changes we need to make to either our policies or practices through the MAS guidance. There's a lot of other topics, but those are some of the main ones that we'll be trying to straighten out for our sake. Before and after school programs. So the before and after school program, we had been meeting with Parks and Rec. I'd kind of been updating you. We were going to try to transition this program to Parks and Rec, and the goal of that was to try to make it so that it could be sort of like the same entity that a lot of those families dealt with essentially the entire year, right? A lot of the summer camp students are the same students that do the before and after school, that were needed over vacations. I thought we were okay. I know that they ran into some questions with the personnel board. I think the personnel board wanted to talk to me about some things. We never quite connected. I talked to Mackenzie today, Mackenzie Mulu from the Parks and Rec, and I said, what do you want to do? Like at this point, we got to do something. This program needs to run one way or the other. She said she's not comfortable, not that she's not comfortable, but she's worried about their ability to pull it all together by the start of the school year. So I said, that's fine. We'll keep it to start the school year. And if we want to transition it during the year, we'll transition it, but we're going to get it started because we want to have it running. So I said, that's fine. I then called, thank you, Nicole Ewan, who was the program coordinator last year for us. I called her this afternoon. She is willing to run the program again. She's coming in Friday at 9 o'clock. So our goal is by the end of the day, Friday, we want to make sure that we email out the registration link to parents, and we make sure that we've reached out to all the people that worked on the program last year about kind of applying again for this year so we can get it. So I think what we're going to try to do is we're going to just run it, try to get the program up and running like we have for the last few years, and we're just sort of either, putting the transition on pause for right now until we can so they feel more comfortable working everything out. I think they were worried about not wanting to go forward without full personnel board approval yet, and then by the time they got personnel board approval, would they have enough time to pull everything together? So we said, let's just, we'll get it going for the school year, and then we'll do it later.
Steve, is there any thought to anybody from Park and Rec shadowing?
Yeah,
the
that's what she
operation?
mentioned too. She said
Okay.
the same thing, that this might give them a better chance to spend, they did a few last year in the spring, but this would give them a better chance to kind of get to know the program a little bit better too, and that kind of stuff. And then we said, we're at least gonna push it off till like January. That would be the earliest we would maybe transition at this point. If the January doesn't make sense and we just want to try to run it again where we started at the fiscal year, but now we have all the ducks in a row, so they're really ready to do their registration in like the spring, then we'll do that.
Cool.
So I just want to make sure. So if there's any takeaway of all of that, it's that if anything, Jan, if you're out there, we will have the before and after school program. The school will be running it, and that we should get the registration link out by this Friday to parents.
Awesome.
And student activity funds account change. So I think you do have one thing in your packet here. This is just we have to put the principal on the student activities account. So I just need approval of this so that we can remove Jennifer and put Tyler onto the account.
I'll make that motion.
Questions or conversation? Pretty straightforward. All in favor?
All right,
Good.
I think that's all I had.
Thank you, Dr. Meyer. As far as subcommittee assignments, I mean, I don't know that we have any updates in regard to any meetings taking place, but we were able to communicate amongst the group, and everybody came to agreement on what they wanted to participate in and what they were willing to, how they were willing to serve this year. You guys all have a summary of that list from Kelly in the packet. It should be reflective of pretty much everything we talked about. So I think we're good there, Dr. Meyer, in regard to a move forward. We don't need like a motion or anything other than the fact that this is what we've signed up for, right? You don't need anything official, correct? On the assignments themselves?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you guys this is who you want on it, because you have the power to change it too if you need to. So this is who you're appointing to these committees. Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
If I may?
Yeah, of course.
I want to express my appreciation for the other members of the board who have adjusted their placement on this list to make room for me, and I sincerely appreciate that. As far as the MSBA appointment, is that an appointment by the town moderator?
It hasn't been to this point because it's not, because right now you're not considered a voting member on that building committee.
Okay, so
The
he
only
doesn't-
voting members are
Oh, right.
the PBC,
Yeah.
so I think he would have to appoint them.
Okay,
Right.
no, I understand.
Yeah,
I knew
but the
that.
other ones are the ones I think that they're almost more like required ones by the MSBA that we put in, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chairman, I forgot there was one other thing, the budget and finance. When's the appropriate time to talk about that subcommittee idea that I brought up at the last meeting?
So the fact that budget and finance is listed here is that we're going to adopt having that additional group. And then the HR one fell off because we don't need it anymore, for now, anyway. So
Yeah.
if that comes about again, we'll entertain if someone from school committee should be on an HR.
And that's really just someone serving on the
Yeah,
search
right.
committee, yeah.
So I would say then offline, it would be a matter of when do we, coupled with Steve, want to talk about what are the next steps for us setting that first meeting in place.
The first step would be
Yeah.
contacting the chairman of the Board of Selectmen and the chairman of the Finance Committee, or
Sure.
the town administrator.
And just letting them know that we did form this and that we
would
would,
like to join them or participate with them
Yeah.
occasionally during the year to
yeah.
be up to date with things that are facing the town that we might not be aware of. And
Sure.
keeping them in the loop as to where we are budget-wise as well. That subcommittee between the Selectmen and the Finance Committee, in my experience, worked extremely well. And while I don't see us needing to join them that frequently, I think it would be a big help to both sides of that conversation.
Visibility's good.
Particularly this year, as it is a
Mm-hmm.
negotiation year, yeah. So it's, we don't just want to pull numbers out of a hat because they're 3 years down the road. We want to kind of have some forecasting and figure out what we're looking at.
So maybe we just set a goal to start thinking about where we set like first meetings for
Yeah.
the subcommittees, and we can do that along with, the members and.
Yeah, we could probably,
Start
I mean,
thinking
probably
about that.
most of
In a
them,
month or so, or whatever.
we might try to pull together like a safety committee meeting in August. I think we were trying to do that. Most of the other ones, facilities, we'll probably do the tours of the building
Walkthroughs.
again, walkthroughs, but you guys usually kind of all do that. And some of the other ones, I can look at that and maybe come up with some proposed timelines for the first meetings and we'll go over at the August meeting. All right, we can try to look at that, and Matt, maybe you and I can just touch base on what we think would work.
Sure.
And then I'll send an email to Mr. Ward, just letting him know that we've established this and that we'd like to, whenever they feel it's like appropriate or whatever, that we'd like to be, in the loop. Yeah.
Cool. Nothing around negotiations at this point. As far as old business, should I pass it over to you
Yeah,
to
sure.
comment on that, just since you completed that and kind of.
Sure. I gave you a copy of Steve's evaluation from last year. I appreciate your waiting for the last moment for me to get it to you. I'm just going to hit on the front side, the professional practice goals was met, student learning goals was some progress, and district improvement was significant progress. And down the bottom, the indicators, instructional leadership, management of operations, family and community engagement were all proficient. Professional culture was exemplary. And the only other one I want to point out is on the third page, under professional practice, the two things that I would note for the entire year was, one, your communication, Steve, and two, the time and effort that went into the middle school. And everything. I mean, I don't know how many years we've been doing this, 4 years, 3 years, I think, since the first time you threw our name in the hat. But I just, just the meetings alone that you make and everything, and the fact that, not only did it pass town meeting and pass the ballot, but, overwhelmingly, and your efforts into that. And I know you have a huge staff that does it with you, but, it has to be someone to lead them, and you're that person. And communication, and what Bill was talking about at one of our meetings before, is the budget. You look at some of the districts around here right now that took their COVID money and spent it, and now they can't pay bills.
Mm-hmm.
Where you saw, you didn't waste the money, and you saw into the future. So, in those areas, the communication, the budget, and the school, it really, hats off to you. Anyone else?
Thank you. I'm not complaining.
And you let me also plagiarize a lot of you. Please don't read these.
Anything else under old business? Anything under new business? I'll just say from a new business perspective, because it was new today, the school had their annual booster golf tournament today. That was primarily sort of for field hockey and football, and Coach Ogilvie and Coach Russell were awesome. The kids were awesome. They all showed up, lots of volunteers. And kudos to the Booster Club as well as all the parents that volunteered to be part of the golf subcommittee, because it was a sold-out day. Weather held off, and I think they probably raised some pretty decent funds for the kids heading into the fall. So it was an awesome day, and thanks to everybody who attended and donated, and the sponsors from the community that show up constantly, no matter what event we throw. So just a really good day, great start to what's going to be another school year. So it's really good, really well attended.
And I know I'll have some more, just thinking of athletics, I'll have some more specifics, but I did meet with Athletic Director Golvin today, and that we are looking at probably either that 26th or 27th of August will be the, once we get it finalized, we'll get it out, that will be the parent meeting for fall athletics. And there'll be sort of a different registration process that'll be coming out pretty soon. That'll have some of the different trainings involved in it that people are supposed to view and sign off on. And I know she's planning on probably doing a sort of an in-person help session for that once it gets it out, probably in the middle of August. So once I have more of those details, I'll get them out to you. But I know that, I met with her today, and her meetings with coaches seem to be going well, and she seems to be stepping right in and making some, I think, really trying to just sort of streamline some of the stuff we've been doing. So instead of it being like a Google form, it's more of like a form stack type platform. So
Yeah, and then communication with the coaches in the fall. Jennifer actually stopped by at the event today too, which was cool. She was able to hit over for about an hour, so it was good to see her, and she got to meet some parents and things like that that were involved in the event, so that was really cool. Anything else under old business?
Can I just ask a quick question? The committee seats for the middle school board, is the PTA rep still present? Have a space on that?
Yeah, so we reached out to the previous PTA rep, but she said she was no longer appropriate, that it would be, she was deferring to Becky until Becky told us who she wanted it to be permanently.
Okay, can we put Becky on it?
Yeah,
Move that forward?
yeah.
She's watching.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn if there's nothing else. Any
Second.
questions? Ready? You
Ready to
good?
go? Second.
All in favor?
Let's go.
We good? All right. Thank you.
26, we'll see. 26 minutes.